The day of the party, she and her daughter show up and she throws a fit and immediately gets out of there with her daughter and has now refused to pay me the other half of what I paid for this birthday party.
Wow. Okay, Ms. Patel, that is quite the story there. I can't wait to hear your side of it. Is it true that you and the plaintiff here were mommy friends, decided to jointly throw your children a 7-year-old birthday party, and then you bailed on the party?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
It was, we decided to do it, but there was a change, and it was not what we decided on.
What was the change, ma'am?
So my son had been going through some changes for a while, and it had come to a point about 2 weeks before the birthday party. My son wanted to be named Charlie, and he wanted to be named Charlie. And I told Christy that my son wanted to, I told her everything, all the changes that we needed to do.
Now, Ms. Patel, when you say your son wanted to be named Charlie, are we talking about a gender,
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So yes, Ms. Patel, I don't want you to feel alone as you navigate what more and more parents all across the world are experiencing as their children are exploring gender identity and indeed as it relates to gender. So your child was biologically born
a daughter.
female. Okay, so you gave birth to a daughter who is now exploring their gender identity and is identifying as a boy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Named Charlie.
Yes.
Okay, now continue. And when did you inform all of that? Because let's kind of just be vulnerable here. That can be a lot for you to express and also a lot for certain people to hear. So at what point, Ms. Patel, did you communicate all of this information to your then best friend?
About a year ago. And, but prior to the birthday party, 2 weeks before that, I told Christy that that we had a family meeting and my son wanted to be called Charlie. And she did the opposite.
Your Honor, I want to clarify. So she called me 2 weeks before the party. We had already sent out invitations. In fact, I have a copy of the invitation.
I have proof too.
That has Emily, which is her daughter's name, on the invite. There was nothing said
I told
about
you to...
Ladies, you're not going to litigate amongst one another. I will hear from each of you and I will make a ruling. Okay. So stand by for 1 second for both of you. Let me look and see exactly what you have each provided. So that's Ms. Patel's, this Ms. Sims. Okay. Ms. Sims, you're talking about this invitation you're about to talk to me about, right?
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead.
So we made those invitations about a month before the party, and there was nothing that came from Andy with regards to having an issue with this invite.
Well, because you said, and when did she see this invoice? This was more than 2 weeks before the party.
Correct.
Is that correct, Ms. Patel?
Yes.
So when you saw this, you approved. Because this, let's not start playing games with the truth now. You approved because per your testimony, this was established before your family meeting.
Christy agreed to change it around when
That's not what I asked you, Ms. Patel. You have to listen. Did you look at this first draft when it was first created?
No.
Okay, so Ms. Sims, she's claiming to the court that she never saw this.
I showed it to her.
So Ms. Patel, you're telling me you never saw this?
I saw the unicorn, but she was showing me some stuff. You sent me over some stuff, but...
So you never saw something that said Jada and Emily's birthday?
No, it was supposed to be... I called her 2 weeks before.
Right, but this was a month before, Your Honor.
That's what
this
I'm
was
trying to
sent
clarify,
out.
Ms. Patel. I understand that there was a family meeting and Emily became Charlie. I understand that and I'm holding space for that. But I need to know, for my ruling's sake, did you ever see this first draft with your son's name as Emily?
No.
You're saying no?
No.
Okay.
What currently stands out is how both women handle control when something changes. You have one mother, the defendant, who is treating this as identity driven, and then you have the plaintiff who is treating this as task driven. It looks like the plaintiff values structure, execution, and follow through, while the defendant values meaning, representation, and emotional alignment. So the conflict isn't just about the change, it's about two different value systems colliding under pressure. Another interesting thing to observe is how the timing, being 2 weeks before the party, the defendant, it really gives her moral leverage without logistical responsibility. It's like saying this matters, this is important, but she's not absorbing the cost and she's not re-owning the plan. So when the defendant ties the request to something emotionally important, it creates a subtle shift in the conversation from, can we do this, to really you should do this. The key thing is they haven't re-established the agreement after the change. It looks like the plaintiff thinks they're in the same agreement when they're not. So our first strong takeaway is the real issue isn't the change. It's whether you take ownership of that change and what it costs other people. Let's get back.
Now I'm looking also at an invoice, ma'am, for the expenses of the party.
Correct.
So this was a total of $800, and that is for decorations, cups, plates, banners, and all the things that a 7-year-old party should have.
Correct.
Okay, so you paid $800, assuming per your agreement with Ms. Patel, she would reimburse you half, which would be $400, which is your claim today.
Correct.
Okay. Now let's get to these text messages that you have here. So this must be after she came to the party, saw that Emily's information was not updated to read as Charlie, and Ms. Patel and her son, Charlie, left the party.
Correct. And just to clarify, Your Honor, so she called me 2 weeks before the party and was very clearly upset, said they had this family meeting and that Emily was now going to go by Charlie or something along those lines, and was very, very distraught. Like, this is a big change for me. This is hard on our family. And I told her, Emily,
what did you tell her? Yeah, what did you tell her? Because the way you're saying it, just so you know how you're coming across, Ms. Sims, and that framing right there, is flippant and dismissive. So are you familiar with our children, our nation's children, having experiences that involve trans identity? And if you're not, that's okay, but say you're not.
Okay, I'm not.
You're not familiar?
I'm not comfortable with it.
Okay, so you know about it, you just don't particularly care for it.
I feel like Emily is going through a phase. She's 7. She's not adolescent.
Ms. Patel, I can handle my courtroom, please. Thank you. Go ahead.
My child on any given day wants to be a dinosaur, wants to be a unicorn, wants to be an astronaut when they grow up. Her daughter is 7. I got this call 2 weeks prior.
I'm going to ask that at least in this courtroom today, Ms. Sims, we hold the space and the respect for what the defendant has framed as her child's identity, which today it's a son and his name is Charlie.
Okay.
And if you can't respect that, you can leave my courtroom. Okay. Now, what were you saying about Charlie?
So Charlie, so I get a call 2 weeks before and was told that her child was now going to go by Charlie. However, nothing was expressed to me about changing the names on everything that I had printed. Nothing was verbally expressed. It was this huge vent about everything that was going on and how stressful.
You were supposed to know that. We are best friends.
Ms. Patel, that's strike 2 for you. Now, if you can't have the wherewithal to understand that I'm doing a very specific deep dive with the plaintiff so I can assess what is fair to your case, then you're missing it. And you can leave too, quite frankly.
Yes, sir.
Now, as you were saying, Ms. Sims.
Nothing was verbally specified to me that I want all the personalized information that's on the decorations changed.
Okay, so she didn't specify that. All she did was, but what she did do was inform you, Emily is now Charlie, identifying from girl to boy, and my family is dealing with the enormity of that.
Correct.
That was conveyed to you.
Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Patel and Charlie leave the party. Then this communication must have taken place later. Well, that ended on an insane note. Venmo me when you can. I told you I'm not going to send you and will not be sending you any money. She responds to me when I say Emily, so I thought that was okay. And you just you overreacted by canceling the party that Emily would have been fine with. You are the one that overreacted and ruined our kids' parties. Ms. Patel says his name is Charlie. I really believe you when you said I support you. You never said I'm putting Emily on the decor. Ms. Sims says this is not a big deal. You are pushing your woke agenda on our children. You ruined the party. Send the cash. I'm done talking about it. Ms. Patel says you're selfish and ridiculous. Pay for your own small-minded BS. So this is where you two are, right? So no more friendship between you ladies.
Correct.
After 7 years of friendship, as your children have grown up together and played together, laughed together, cried together?
Yes.
And now it's all over.
She has to change the way she thinks.
Okay. Let me get to your evidence, Ms. Patel, because I do see you are countersuing for $2,400. What is your claim about?
She ruined our kid's birthday. And my son is traumatized. He's in therapy. And he has been going for therapy for the last 6 months. And we also have family therapy.
Okay. I am looking at many therapy bills here.
And she also alienated my son and me from his friends. None of his friends, their families want to spend.
Well, let's start with that claim. So I'm looking at some text messages. Some woman named Shannon. This is another one of y'all mommy's friends?
Yes.
Mommy friends?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, just checking in to say I'm sorry we missed you and Charlie. So this woman, Shannon, understands that your son's name is Charlie.
Yes.
Okay. You and Charlie at the party. Christy, Miss Sims, made a very big deal after you left with all of the moms. Messy. Okay. You, Ms. Patel, say to Shannon, thank you for your support. It means the world. Of course, I'm so sorry you guys are going through this. I know people have started distancing themselves, but we are here. Then there's another friend group, member, Sarah. Sarah just wanted to confirm that the kids are having a play date tomorrow. She says, Andy, so sorry. We're going to hold off on the play dates for a while until you guys get everything sorted out. I'm sure you understand. And then lastly, Michelle, sorry we missed you at the party. Charlie is wondering if Alex can come over for a sleepover. Sorry, Andy, we aren't ready to have those conversations at our house. Hope Emily, wow, had a good birthday. So defiant there till the end.
Wow, there is a lot of patterns to unpack in this section. So let's look at it. The first being the condition-based relationship. The we can't be friends unless you change your views. That is not a disagreement. That is a condition, because when someone ties a relationship to an agreement, they're not negotiating, they're setting terms for control. The second thing we're seeing is the discomfort versus the compliance of the plaintiff. The fact that she's uncomfortable using the name, that matters. It's showing that she's not confused or unaware, but she's making a decision based on internal resistance. So when someone says, I'm uncomfortable, it often means I understand, but I am not willing to align. There are two more patterns to look at here. The first one being where moral framing is replacing the original issue. The original dispute started as shared costs and the agreement, and has now shifted into identity, respect, values. Now this situation has become moralized, and now the original agreement has stopped being the focus. This is where accountability starts getting blurred. The final thing to hit is social alignment, and this is big. Look at the friend group. One aligns and the rest of them disengage. When conflict becomes social, people don't pick the truth. They're going to pick what is comfortable. And that can push into reputation warfare like we're seeing with the plaintiff. As she's talking to the other moms at the party after the defendant left, it shows that when someone can't control the situation, they'll start trying to control the narrative. Let me know in the comments if someone feels strongly about something. Does that change what they already agreed to or not? Let's get back.
How are you taking all this in emotionally?
This is really hard on our family, Yana. This is something new for us. And we just want to support Charlie. We just want to support our son. And I just want to be the best mother I can.
Mm-hmm. You know, Ms. Patel, it is an extremely challenging thing that you and your family are having to navigate. And it can be very painful. So what I am glad to see that you have done, Ms. Patel, is avail yourself to the help of professionals that have the training and the know-how and the understanding and the resources to help you and Charlie and your family navigate what will be just a really enormous thing where you are really at the center point of your child's identity and understanding of themselves, as all children are at this formative age of 7 years old. And I do see many invoices. So you're in therapy how often, ma'am?
Twice a month.
Twice a month. Okay. So every other week you're in therapy, and you have been for the better part of this year.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And also family therapy.
And therapy. Right. So I'm seeing this is from one of the physicians.
Yes.
Who is this?
This is from the psychiatrist.
The psychiatrist. Okay. Ms. Patel, per your request, I'm writing a letter to document your child, Charlie Patel's diagnosis of gender. It's a psychological condition where a person suffers severe distress or unhappiness caused by the feeling that their gender identity does not match one's registered at birth. We discussed this diagnosis at the visit and your child's mental health screening. I recommend biweekly. Okay, so this is the diagnosis letter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hence the pursuit of the bi-monthly rather therapy.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm prepared to rule in this matter. Do you have any final words for the court, Ms. Sims?
I'm more than anything, obviously the birthday was not good.
It was terrible.
Was terrible, and she left upset.
And did you call and check on her? Because this was your friend at that point.
I didn't reach out to her. No, I was honestly, the whole situation, I was embarrassed. It's my home. I'm hosting this huge party.
What embarrassed you? That she left because she and her child were uncomfortable? That was the embarrassing point for you?
Yes. Yes.
And did you take up your embarrassment, let me guess, with the other moms in the friend group instead of going to your friend and directly addressing the issue?
I vented to them, yes, that I was frustrated. I understand that the situation did cause distress for her and her family. However, I don't think I should be paying for her son's full-on therapy bills if he has, like you read, gender dysphoria. I shouldn't be paying for all of that when it was one day at one party and we had a difficult, very awkward interaction.
Okay, well listen, I'm going to be the judge as to who's going to pay for what, and I'm going to decide that right now. Ms. Sims, I believe your handling of the situation with Ms. Patel and her child is less than empathetic. And you created an environment that was so unwelcoming that it would have been unreasonable to expect them to stay and submit themselves to very aggressive, uncomfortable, hostile language that is leading to the types of symptoms that are addressed here in this letter from the doctor here, where the assigned birth gender, Emily, female girl, is being confronted with the realized actual gender identity of Charlie, who is a boy. So I think your actions only amplified this trauma. Therefore, I am dismissing your claim of $400. This woman is not going to have to reimburse you, ma'am, for half of a birthday party that you ruined for her and her son. And also, Ms. Patel, while I'm identifying that responsibility from the plaintiff, you have responsibility as well, right? And the reality is that your child, Charlie, your son, is going to be hugely benefited by your investment in therapy for Charlie and for the family. However, I would not be honest or operating with my integrity if I assigned the blame of the need for this therapy, which was going to be required regardless of this horrific birthday party. I can't assign that responsibility to Ms. Sims. Therefore, I'm dismissing the plaintiff's claim in full, and I'm also dismissing the countersuit in full. That's my ruling.
Looks like both parties tried to expand responsibility past what was the original agreement and what they could prove. Obviously, one to avoid paying and the other to add the new cost. So why that matters is because when emotions get high, people don't just defend their position, they expand what they think the other person owes them, which leads to our big life lesson. You can't turn every negative outcome into someone else's responsibility just because they were part of the situation. A good way to do better is to handle what's yours without attaching extra blame to make it feel fair. So, let me know in the comments. Where's the line? Should someone only be responsible for what they agreed to, or everything that came from the situation? As always, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, follow, and share, and I will see you again soon.